Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. So we're going to have a little chat about urban legend.
Yes.
Last month was bad, me swooning over Adam Devine. You've not
Oh,
seen
what's it going to be this
yet.
month?
Ah,
Can we guess who it's going to be?
can you? So yes, welcome. There will be spoilers ahead for Urban Legend. Just to pre-warn anyone.
It's been about 20 years, so hopefully they can get over
It'll
it.
be okay.
I had forgotten quite a lot of the film actually, so I'm glad that I rewatched it.
I remembered more than I thought I would. I was surprised.
Ah,
Oh,
I know all the dialogue. Like, I was watching with my boyfriend last night, and I was being that annoying person who like says the line before the character says it. I'm like, shut up!
He's just like, shut up,
He's such
shut
a
up.
loser.
oh,
I couldn't remember any of it. I
Oh,
was like, I'm
wow.
sure my husband was going, you have seen this. We watched it together. I'm like, I haven't seen it. He's like, you have. But yeah, I couldn't remember a lot of it.
yeah. A lot of it was a bit hazy to me as well, but I just put that down to me getting older. but yeah, it was really good. But I'll just do a quick introduction of who we have got with us this evening. So first up, we've got the urban legend that is Josh. Josh,
Does he
I'm not
exist? We don't know.
real. Yeah.
Josh took months to grow that facial hair and will try and convince you he's the middle handsome brother. Be careful.
Slightly less hair than handsome brothers.
Then we have the lovely Emma, who has been known to grab a parka coat and Mr. Slicey her axe. So watch out for the urban legend that is Emma.
Yes.
She does love that X.
And we've got our special guest, Dustin. He's known to not warn anybody about anything when he's driving, and he did consider bleaching his hair blonde Joshua Jackson style for this chat.
Oh,
Why didn't you do that, Dustin?
Actually, I have bleached my hair
yeah.
way back in the day when I was playing Spike from Buffy for Halloween. But
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and I'm Shelley, if you don't know who I am. But fear not, my pulse has been checked and I have looked like this for years.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
Such a good
beautiful.
line.
Don't say that.
Such a good line. All those were lines from the film, by the way. I wasn't just insulting my guests.
Or yourself.
Myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so urban legend then. So it's set at Pendleton University, which apparently is the safest university in the country, until obviously the events happen. But it all focuses on the urban legend, which is a contemporary folklore passed down from generations. And then someone out there starts taking it very literally and killing people off to the stories of urban legends. And apparently the Latin, I really can't speak tonight. I just need to put my teeth back in. I do. The Latin motto of the university, which is featured on the emblem of their uniforms, translates, I don't know whether this is true, but translates as "the best friend did it," apparently.
oh,
It's true. It
really?
is true. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Very
That
clever.
is, I'm not sure. Yeah, I thought that was quite a little clever touch.
Love it.
So the opening scene for Urban Legend, where we get Michelle Mancini?
Michelle Mancini.
Obviously, she's known
You
to
have to
give
shout
good
her name.
head. She's known to give good head. That is really rude. That Joshua.
That was such a rude line.
I had to get it in. Well, not literally.
Rude on so many levels.
No.
Is that it again?
We'll move on. So the opening scene is set in the car, thundering, raining. She reaches for those old cassette tapes and pulls that good old Bonnie Tyler.
Turn around.
Oh yes, I was going to ask Dustin to sing. Yeah, so she puts that good old Bonnie Tyler in, sings really, really badly, and she doesn't even know the lyrics. Who doesn't know the lyrics?
To a
It was
tape you
painful,
own.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
True.
I mean, that I was like, what? She doesn't know.
At least she's like consistently off key throughout the whole thing. She's hitting the same key throughout. It's just the wrong one. So kudos
Yeah.
to that.
That's true.
I think she did channel the kind of like inner what we do in our cars, basically, which is just sing very badly, or I do anyway, down the motorway.
It doesn't matter the
same.
pitch, you just
I
get it
can't
out
sing.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's therapy.
It's more about emotion, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, in my head, I sound like, you know, I'm Mariah Carey or something, but you know. And then she runs out of petrol, goes to the petrol station, dodgy petrol attendant, who's played by the brilliant, I can never say his surname now, I'm going to butcher it. Is it Brad Dourif? Something like that. I think he plays,
I don't know.
he played Chucky in the Chucky movies, and he's been in the remake of Halloween. So he's quite a big actor for such a small role that he had in this. And obviously he's trying to tell her there's someone in the back of the car.
Right.
And Michelle gets decapitated. So
With an axe.
like, turn around.
While she's driving.
Yeah.
So what did we all think of the opening scene? It was quite an opening scene. A lot happened in it. But what did we think? What did you think, Josh? Josh?
Oh, I love it. It's so atmospheric. There's you know, you can't get any more atmospheric than Rain. I just think it's, you know, such a great opening. Everyone knows the story about someone hiding in the back seat. It's such a great introduction to the idea of stories coming to life, and it's such a great introduction for the killer, who, you know, this killer doesn't pull any punches. It's quite gruesome, and I love that it opens with that really quite shocking death. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Dustin? What did you think of the opening scene? Did it set the tone?
Oh yeah, I remember when I first saw this, and I remember because, like you said, it was bringing back the urban legends of every, you know, that you kind of knew at the time, but then they were throwing in some ones I hadn't known about, and so the someone's in the back seat thing. There was always different versions of that I'd seen. Like either somebody was behind them flashing lights because they didn't want somebody, because somebody kept ducking down in the back seat. But this one took the attendant and had him be creepy, and like he's just weird looking guy, and he's like, and he's just talking, and he's like, it was freaking her out, you know, and she's alone, you know, and she sees this creepy guy and he's trying to talk to her, and then he can't get out his words, and she freaks out and leaves, and he finally yells, "Someone's in the back seat," and you're like, oh.
So great.
What about you, Emma? Did you like the opening scene?
I did, but my first thought, it's going to be ridiculous. My first thought was, what on earth are you doing, girl? You're out on a dark and stormy night, driving on your own, and your car's almost on empty. Who does that, man? You just don't do it. You don't want to stop in the dark. Yeah, I know, right? I was like, no, it's on empty. Why didn't you fill up before you left? That was what my first thought was. You're going to break
especially
down.
given her history of sort of automobile incidents.
Yeah, you'd think she'd be more careful. But yeah, no, I thought it was great. I love anything that opens with a storm. So anything stormy, anything people getting wet and being creepy. That sounds awful. That sounds like a Shelley line. But yeah. Anything
Wet
like that
creepy.
is cool.
Wet and creepy. Oh yeah.
It's all good.
Oh,
The best kind of creepy.
I'm getting a reputation here. So obviously she got distracted by the Bonnie Tyler. That's why she didn't notice the petrol. But which I have been known to like risk it and try and get somewhere on very minimal petrol before. I'm so bad. Never come in a car with me. That's just warning.
Oh, we learned that last week, didn't we?
Yeah. They're all going with me.
Yeah, we're all going with Emma.
What did you think of that song choice? Do you think it was like the perfect song choice to like open it up, especially with the lyrics. Like, what did you think, Dustin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. And it's telling you right there. I mean, I'm like, uh-oh. And she puts in the tape, and then she reaches back, and you see the hood in the back seat, but you don't know nobody's in it because you never really see the person's face in the hood, under the hood. And so you're like, and then turn around. I was like, uh-oh. Well, I'm in a movie called Urban Legend. Come on.
What did you think of the song choice, Josh? Did you think
Loved it.
was good? Yeah.
Brilliant. It really like, it just encapsulates the cheeky nature of the film. You know, there's the really dark vein of humor running throughout the whole film. And so it kind of really sets you up for that, I think.
Yeah. And what did you think, Emma? Could you imagine a different song being played at that point?
No, I think that was the perfect choice. I agree with both Josh and Dustin that was the perfect choice. I mean, and all the way through, I think it was a bit like that. It was hinting all the way through at everything. And if you missed it, you know, you're like, oh, how did I miss that? You know, so yeah, little subtle hints like that. I think that's what made the atmosphere of the whole film, really.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the things that you remember from the film. Like, even years after, I always relate that song to that film. So it must have like just etched on my brain at some point. I forgot about
definitely.
the Parker, but I remembered the song somehow. Leroy's put, I watch Urban Legend. I can't speak tonight. What is wrong? Urban Legend like once a month. Is that obsessive? Yes.
Oh wow.
A little.
Amazing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So
I got another movie for you if you like Urban Legend. I know another movie if you like it.
Oh yeah. What is it?
It's called Campfire Tales.
Ooh.
And it was a straight to video release in the 90s. It was not long after this. And it's got like 3 or 4, like, it's kind of anthology like, but it's like a group of kids are telling stories around a campfire when their car breaks down. And yeah, and it's got some of these stories kind of are in it. It's just in a different way, and it's kind of creepy. But yeah, Campfire Tales.
I'm gonna look out for that.
Did we ever get that? You heard of that in the UK or?
No, I've not heard.
No, I haven't.
It has people like Ron Livingston in it, and I think that's the biggest name that's in it that I know of. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Look out for that. Oh, so there you go, Leroy. You can like try something different. Leroy's probably seen that. He's probably said, I've seen that.
Yes, and Amy Smart and James Marsden. That's right.
Ah, okay.
That's what Leroy just reminded me of that. Sorry.
Good. But Stephen said he does the same. He watches Urban Legend at least once a month. What? You could all be able to just like reenact
this is a thing.
And make a remake, the reboot. Karen said
I think it's a great one to rewatch though, because it's just so fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, you get to the end and I genuinely just want to start it again. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Michelle, Michelle couldn't sing. Karen loved that. She said that was amazing. Yeah, so
and that actress is a really bad singer as well. Like, she said that she always sings off key, so
so this was her starring moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It was a bit Final Destination with the clues, the song, the flash to the very safe gas station. Yeah. Final Destination. Yeah, so it looks like Leroy might have seen Campfire Tales and Stephen. Oh, I'm missing out. I need to watch that now. Thanks.
I haven't seen it.
You're welcome.
So as I said, there was so many brilliant actors in this, and that all the characters were actually quite fleshed out and really good. So what I thought we could do is like chat a little bit about some of the characters. This is mainly so I can swoon. I'm just warning you now.
Over Robert Englund.
Oh. I knew
another guy in corduroy.
Yeah.
So first up, we have our main girl, who was Natalie Simon. So she was the redhead with the secret past. She was on probation for reckless endangerment, which kind of links to what happened in the past. What did we think of her as? I mean, she was a final girl before we knew what final girls were. back then. So what do we think of her as a kind of final girl? Did we like her, or did we find her a bit annoying? Dustin, did you like Natalie?
Well, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Alicia Witt, who played Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
She shows up in a lot of Hallmark movies now, and she's kind of got this. You just want to. If I were a girl, I'd say punch her, but there's something about her. She frustrates me, and so that as this character frustrated me too. I'm like, speak up for yourself, you know. And she's just too much. I'm hurt, I'm broken, things are bad happened to me. I'm like, oh my god, just get a grip. You know, that she frustrated me. That's basically what I get from that.
Yeah. How about you, Josh? Did she frustrate you?
I felt the same way. I feel like there's kind of like there's like a jarring between her being kind of like badass enough to punch Joshua Jackson and kind of see through his stupid chat up line. But then there's that hilarious moment when they meet Brenda in the rain and she's like, where's Sasha? And she's like, she's dead. No, that's it. It's just like she's just really awkward sometimes, and that can be a bit endearing, but also it's just a bit like, oh, just a bit annoying.
No, yeah, I'm with you there. How about you, Emma? Did you like her?
I loved her. I didn't think she was annoying at all. I was like, I liked that she was so awkward and random. I was like, what's she going to do next? You know, she's not very together at all. And I did like that she did that mean right hook. And you know what did she say? He said something like, you don't have to act like such a bitch. And she said, it's not an act. I was just like, that's great. You know, so yeah. So I really liked her, but I can see where you guys are coming from. Like you did kind of wanted to push her a little bit. Like, come on, where's that fire, you redhead? Get out.
I know she showed it to us at one point, and then she just kind of went. Bleh. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. That's it.
I
Bring it
did
back
love how
out.
exhausted she seemed running in the rain. She's just like, just like, she's so tired.
Like it was heavy.
I thought I went over onto a very different film when that happened. I was like, whoa. But yeah, I feel like she was like two characters in one, that the writers like couldn't quite decide how they wanted her to play it. I don't know, it was weird. Like sometimes I loved her, like obviously the Joshua Jackson scene in the car, she was like, yeah, love that. And then sometimes she was just a bit whiny. But overall, like as it progressed, I warmed to her a little bit more. But yeah, she's a bit hit and miss for me, I think.
Yeah, I really wanted her to stand up to her roommate more, especially. I'm like, that's your room too. Like she's in there all the time taking over, and the roommate's like, it's my phone too. I'm like, you're on it all the time. Like, where do you think you're this anyway?
Oh dear. But I did read that there was some actresses who did turn down the role of Natalie. So there was Reese Witherspoon, Melissa Joan Hart, and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer.
So I think she turned it down because she didn't want to get typecast in the roles of like slasher films. Do you think any of those actresses may have done, I don't want to say a better job because she was good, don't get me wrong. Do you think they would have suited the role better? What do you think, Josh?
I would have loved to see Melissa Joan Hart do it because I think she's great, and she hasn't really done much really dark stuff. So that would have been really cool to see her be the badass final girl. But I think that like Reese Witherspoon is really like self-possessed, and I don't think that she would have necessarily fit that kind of role. The more I think about it, the more I actually do quite like Alicia Witt, because I think it's just a bit odd, and I like that she's a redhead, and she's nothing like other final girls. She is a bit sort of, she feels more human maybe because she's just a bit weird.
Yeah. How about you, Dustin? Would any of those been good in that role, do you think?
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Josh. Like, she is good for the role. She just frustrates me. The character frustrates me, you know. But I do agree with you as far as Melissa Joan Hart. I think if it hadn't been Alicia Witt, it could have been Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah. What about you, Emma? What do you think? Any of those would have been better?
Jennifer. Yeah, I would have liked to see her. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. She's just got something about her. I don't know. I think she would have been good, but as you say, she probably didn't want to be typecast. So yeah, that would make
What's
sense.
wrong with that? She should have just done it.
Yeah, she should have. Yeah,
own it.
But I think I would have liked to see Melissa Joan Hart. Actually, I think that would have been quite interesting. Stephen's just put no, which I presume is the answer to the question. Would any of those be any good? I presume no. I would have said Jennifer Love Hewitt as well. He said, yeah. Leroy's
She would have been knackered. Like doing I Know What You Did Last Summer and then doing Urban Legend. She would have been absolutely destroyed by this.
They should have just wrote it as Julie James's continuing story instead of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, they should have.
It probably would have been better than the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. Just me, or
probably true.
Leroy's put Natalie is probably my least favourite of all the characters, but she does have some good and awkward moments. Yeah, I agree. Let's move on to Sasha. So Sasha Thomas is played by Tara Reid. So Under the Covers with Sasha, isn't it? WZAB, ZAB or something like that. I've totally butchered that. And she just oozes like sexualness, doesn't she? And she's like into the Kama Sutra and all that. I really liked Sasha. I thought she was a good character. I wish we'd seen a little bit more from her.
I know what you're about to say of her because we saw enough.
Yeah, we really did, didn't we? That at that party, it was like, oh. And she did a good job of running around in those blinking heels, not even normal heels, like 90s, like stocky heels.
Gotta respect that.
Even when she like hurt her ankle, she like still carried on. I would have been like, get them
There's no time. There's no time.
Use them as a weapon.
What did we think? Yeah. What did we think of Sasha? Did you like her, Dustin?
Yeah, I like Tara Reid. I kind of have issue with the school allowing a sex column or sex therapy radio show. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something the college would allow. But, you know, maybe. I don't know. But that's the only thing I had with that. I was like, why is she so explicit? I don't understand why. Because she didn't seem that way as a character. And you would think she would be more of like that in everyday life. And then she just goes on the air and she's like, oh, and she's like stroking the microphone. And, you know, it's like, wow, what's going on?
Yeah. I think as well, the people that were phoning in were all like telling like not urban legends like how we possibly know urban legends, but they are like a form of like urban legends, like the contraceptive pill being changed and the, as you say, the semen.
The birth control and the aspirin.
Yes, they're all kind of
not ready to procreate.
Little urban legends. Did you like Sasha, Josh?
Loved her. Yeah, brilliant. And only partly because she gets the best chase sequence in the film. You know, she gets, you know, I Know What You Did Last Summer has Helen being chased, you know, through town, through the store and all that stuff. And this film has Tara Reid in platform shoes, like you said. You know, she did all of her stunts. There was no stunt person involved in any of that. So hanging off the edge of that thing, the axe was real. So the shot of the axe going past her nose, that was a real axe.
Yeah.
You know, she really went for it, and it's like respect.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know any of that. So yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Dedication.
Yeah.
I mean, good on Tara Reid for doing all that. Like, but she did get the best death scene. I do agree on that. got the best death scene.
And she's really proud of it. Like, she's interviewed in the Urban Legacy documentary on the Blu-ray, which I have up there. And she's just like super proud of it. She totally thinks it's like the best thing she's pretty much ever done.
Oh,
Bless
Might be
her.
true. Yeah.
I would have gone with American Pie myself, but
Yeah.
yeah. How about you, Emma? Did you like Sasha?
I found she was in the background too much for me. I didn't really know who she was for most of it. And then I put two and two together and went, oh, she's the radio girl, because she's sitting on the couch. And I'm like, who's that blonde girl? And then she's sitting over there. And I'm like, who is that? And then I put two and two together. I was like, oh, gosh. When she picked up the book in the library, which, again, my husband said, would that be in the library? But they're pretty lax because look at the radio show. So, you know, I didn't really, until she did that chase scene, I was just like, okay, now she's in it and now she's gone. And I was like, oh, no. I wanted her to survive. I was like, no.
That's what she does at the end, isn't it?
yeah.
Like, why is it 4 fingers?
I don't know. Was there 4 victims before this? Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe her thumb was really sore from holding the axe.
Oh, but apparently, again, like, I did read, like, I read a lot of like rubbish. But apparently, Sarah Michelle Gellar was meant to play Sasha. Don't know how true that is. But because of Buffy, there was a scheduling conflict, so Tara Reid got it. But I
definitely think Tara Reid is a lot better than Sarah Michelle Gellar would have been in this part.
Yeah, I can't even imagine Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, God,
yeah. Well, I can, because she was in Cruel Intentions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 But then that would have taken away from Cruel Intentions, and it would also have taken away from I Know What You Did Last Summer. So it's probably best she didn't.
Yeah.
And Scream 2 as well.
Yeah.
She's the girl who dies.
Yeah. So we've got Parker Riley as well, who's played by Michael Rosenbaum. I think that's how you say his surname. That wrong. So he's the character with all the spooky stories and the urban legends. He loves his dog so much. And he has a
Is it called Hooter?
party to
Hootie.
I didn't know
What was his dog's name?
was.
Was it Hootie?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyone dog's name?
Because it's written on the thing that the dog is chugging in the party.
Oh, is it really?
I think so.
I don't know.
Oh,
The poor doggy.
Oh, I can't talk about the dog. It makes me a bit sad.
I was like, not the dog. Oh, no. Everyone can die. Just don't kill the animal.
Everyone else can die.
Yeah, just leave the dog.
So obviously this was his role before he did Smallville, before he was Lex Luthor. But he was an all right character, I thought. Do you think he was all right? Just general consensus. Okay.
Yeah, he was a good douchebag.
Cared more about the dog.
It was very entertaining. I think he kind of picked up the Damon funny slack when Damon's gone, kind of thing.
Yeah. No, definitely. Narissa, the point on Pike Sheet, she's put Joshua Jackson definitely came straight from Cruel Intentions, set with that hair.
Yes.
He had to keep it blonde. Oh, you've got me going on the Joshua Jackson now.
Uh-oh.
It's still my beating heart. But yeah,
he was blonde at the start of. Sorry, he was blonde at the start of season 2 of Dawson's Creek, wasn't he? Briefly.
Was he?
Yes, I think he
like for maybe 1 or 2 episodes he was blonde, and it must have been around the time he did this.
Stephen will be able to, but
he'll correct us in a moment.
Yeah, but apparently he did have to keep the blonde hair in case he had to go back to Cruel Intentions to refilm anything. But I just wish he kept the blonde hair like forever, because blonde hair Joshua Jackson.
That was like back in the 90s when a lot of guys were doing platinum blonde hair out of nowhere with the dark roots. Yeah, totally.
Karen's, but yeah, he frosted his tips. odd frosted tips.
Gregory?
Amy's put she loves this film. Yeah, hi Amy.
Hello.
I just finished talking with her, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's talk about Joshua Jackson then. Me and Josh
sure you
are gonna
want to?
like fight it out. Yeah. But yeah, what did we think of his character, Damon in Urban Legend? Emma, what did you think?
I thought he was a fun character. I love what was going on with the pop rocks and the soda. I love that. I like pranking people, so I was definitely on his team until he got in the car and said all that cringy stuff. And then I was like, no, now you get a punch.
I loved it when he got in the car and like hit the car to start on, and the Dawson Creek theme tune started. And
I don't want to wait.
Oh,
brilliant. What did you think, Justin? Did you like Damon or Joshua Jackson?
To me, he felt like a typical YA prankster character. Like the stuff that happened when it played out in the classroom and then in the car later, a lot of it felt like one of those characters you would see in a Point Horror or a Fear Street book. Like I don't know why, but I was like, this feels straight out of YA. His character especially.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the whole film kind of felt really Point Horror, like in general. Yeah, El Fear Street as well, definitely. How about you, Josh? Do you love Joshua Jackson as much as me?
I do actually. I love Pacey, and so watching this documentary today. Basically, everyone took the piss out of him on set and just called him Pacey throughout the entire film. And I think Michael Rosenbaum like called him Jacks on, Jacks off. Just completely.
I used to say that. I had a friend named Jackson, and I used to say that to him.
No way.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I did. That's funny.
I love that. Oh no, I think, and like he seems like the kind of person as well that would like just laugh along, like in general, like in real life, to that. But apparently, out of the salary for Urban Legend, he actually bought his mom a house.
Oh.
Yeah, out of his salary.
I take back the punch in the face.
I think he might have overtook Adam Devine there in Shelley's Love.
And he's barely in the film. Yeah, it's a big fee for a tiny role, but I guess he was quite famous by then.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. Narissa had said what was flashing on my shelf, and I think it's just a reflection from the fan reflecting off some plastic back there. So.
It looks like fire, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Funko Pop, and the light and the fan is making it flash.
Karen's put Pacey forever. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Stephen's put I love the scene in the car when we hear the Dawson's Creek song. I just loved every scene he was in. I just love him. I love him. I love you, Joshua Jackson, if you watch this.
You take your moment, Shelley.
Another person who's going to block me now on Instagram. If he knew I existed. So then we've got Jared Leto, who plays Paul Gardner, the news reporter. I can't get my words out. And he's just sexy. I just love him. Just me? Anyone else? Anyone?
No, I think he is classically attractive, isn't he?
Yes.
Oh, his eyes. Oh.
Yeah.
What did you say, Dustin? No?
I never really was attracted to Jared Leto. I don't know what it was. I watched him from My So-Called Life, which was his big first debut role. And then everybody who was the heartthrob in that. And I was like, he's attractive, but I was never like hot for him. I just never got that. I don't know what it was.
He kind of looks like a puppet.
Okay.
Like he looks a bit like Pinocchio in this film, I think.
He's kind of, the big eyes make him look like a Precious Moments figurine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just can't. I can't talk because I'm just daydreaming about him. I love him. Sorry. Was there any of the other characters that I haven't mentioned that were particularly any of your favourites, Joshua?
Tosh, love Tosh.
Tosh, yeah. I don't know why I
Yeah,
just called you
brilliant.
Joshua then instead of Josh.
Go with it. Very formal.
Just got Josh Jackson on the brain. So sorry, did you say Tosh?
Love Tosh. Yeah, because she's Danielle Harris, so she has sort of horror prestige because she was in Halloween's 4 and 5, and then she did like the Halloween remake as well later after this. And she was in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. She was one of the kids. So yeah, I just loved that she was in this.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, I forgot that she was in
Although
that.
her death scene is horrible. Something about being strangled. It's just, it really goes on. It
With
makes
someone
you feel
just out of
every
reach.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's really horrible.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah.
Tosh.
No. How about you, Emma? Is there any other character I haven't mentioned that was like particularly your favourite?
Oh my God, I forgot the biggest one. Sorry.
Of course, I liked Brenda because she's absolutely crazy. But also, I really loved Reese. I loved that she was watching Jackie Brown, and she was like, you know, gonna get my time, you know, with the Jackie Brown, and she was doing, you know, saying the lines, and I just thought, oh my gosh, this girl's gonna save the day. I thought she was great. Thought she was just great.
Yeah. How about you, Dustin?
I agree.
About Brenda in a minute.
Yeah, definitely Brenda for sure. But yes, Reese for sure, and I love her. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the name of the actress, and I thought I wrote it down. But
Loretta Devine.
Loretta Devine. I just looked at it, saw it. But yeah, I love her. I've always loved her sweet voice. But she is so. She has this great comedic timing in everything I've seen her in like sitcoms and movies, everything. And I just love that. I love her, what she adds to this, especially that role, to where it's kind of like she's kind of bumbling in a way, but she really wants to be that badass, you know, woman like you know, Pam Grier, and she's really trying, but she's still kind of funny at the same time. She's got this sweet voice, and you're just like, you're rooting for her, you know.
Woman.
Exactly.
Yeah, I loved that.
I love that she gets her own story, like sort of just happening alongside the main story, and she gets her own like beginning, middle, and end. That is,
she's a final girl
almost
too,
self-contained.
basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, definitely. I loved her as well. Also, obviously, I love Professor Wexler, played by Robert England.
We love Robert.
Yeah, I love him. He's just good in everything, really, isn't he? But I love how he taught like the folklore as well, and like I would love to do like a folklore class or something like that. It would be so cool.
Yeah.
But also, I have to mention just before we move on to Brenda, the Dean. So obviously he gets killed off, but did his death follow an urban legend, or did they just kill him off for being like a complete dick?
Someone under the car.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, because there's always like checked in the back, but they're like, you're supposed to also check under the car too, apparently, because someone could slash your Achilles heel, you know, or Achilles tendon.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh God, I've now got to check under the car.
That's something that happens in Campfire Tales as well. So.
Okay. I just thought maybe they just like Brenda decided to like bump him off just because he was a bit of an idiot. And, like,
well, that too. Yeah.
Don't call anyone's parents. Don't do this. Oh dear, he wasn't a very good dean of the university. No.
Quite forward thinking in terms of relationships, though. When he's like probably holed up in a motel room with a girl or a guy, a farm animal, you know.
What? Yeah, I was like, what?
Whatever floats your boat. Not that kind of routine.
What a line. So the ending then, towards the end, obviously it gets revealed that Brenda is the killer. I mean, how she did all that, she was obviously a very busy killer, to get from place to place, managed to cover all that hair all the time as well.
She's got her swimming cap.
Well, she also had I think she had a ski cap on, because when you see the chase scene in the car, you kind of see her eyes at one point. And I was like, that's a black ski cap. So that was what's covering all the hair.
Yeah. And she goes all
secrets.
psycho. I mean, those eyes are like what she does, like just in that whole end scene, just like she looks like it's really scary.
She's got huge eyes anyway, so it just added to it, especially when you get the wild hair, which I thought she kind of looked like Michelle Pfeiffer at the beginning of Batman Returns. You know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I really agree with that. Yeah, I definitely thought she had like Catwoman vibes, like in that whole scene. She did it so well.
Apparently, they talked about her hair a lot before filming, because they were like, if it's too curly, is it going to give away that she's crazy? And they're like, wait a minute, this is just
curly equals crazy. They both start with C.
We're going down a bad road.
Oh, geez. If you a killer, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, she I mean, did she even walk around? She got like hit by cars, she got like thrown over, like
she fell out a 3-story window after being shot twice, and then somehow shows up in the back seat of this SUV or this Jeep or whatever he's driving, and then gets thrown out. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But crazy has extra energy. I mean, we see that with Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Did anyone wonder about how she was moving these bodies around? Because I was like, if you try and pick someone up that's unconscious, especially if you're a woman and you're picking up a man, you try and pick them up. You can't pick them up on your own. I was thinking, what's she got that she's lifting them with? That's why I was so like, how can it be this teeny tiny girl? But clearly she's a bit superhuman. Yeah, they are. They must be.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like, they always have these, you have the insane people, they have extra strength and extra lives, apparently. So
yeah.
Well, isn't like the mother who lifts a car off her child? She's kind of like in a heightened state of that.
But just used it in a different way. Yeah.
Well,
nefarious way.
Actually, that makes sense, because I was in an earthquake years ago, and I actually grew to lift my child off the top bunk. I wasn't high enough to lift her straight off, and I grew and lifted her and threw her on the bottom bunk with my other daughter. So that's true. The adrenaline kicks in, and as it was shaking, I just pulled her straight off the top. And my husband was like, "What do you mean you did that?" I said, "I don't know how that happened, but that's what I did." Yeah, so that's completely true.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, it's weird,
like
isn't it?
Auntie Brenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do we all agree that she was like, other than the plot holes, which they did, I think, I don't know where, this is years ago I heard this, they did kind of cover their tracks about the plot holes with Brenda, because everyone was like, what, really, would you do that? And they kind of said, well, you've got to think it's really like an urban legend, where over time things have got changed. So she might be telling that story and think, or someone's telling the story and changed it. So I thought that was quite a little thing. I wonder whether they did think about that before people started commenting.
Which I love that at the end, how they bring that up, and she's like, no, this is how it really goes. But the funny thing was, they called her the girl from the Noxzema commercials. Yeah. Did you guys have those? Did you have her in those
No, I don't know what
we did. That's what we knew her was. Oh, the Noxzema girl's in this. That's what we called her. And so when it came up, and I was like, oh, that's perfect.
What's a Noxzema?
It's a facial cream for like zit removal.
What on earth is that?
Clean, facial cleanser.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
It was kind of like an in joke in the film. Oh, I love that. That's
and
brilliant.
Jared Leto was also in a Noxzema commercial, and he said to her, don't tell everyone that I was also in the Noxzema commercial. And she's like, okay, guys, guess what? Jared's the new Noxzema guy as well.
That's right. I forgot he did model. That's right.
Oh dear. Don't stop off on him again.
That's another one I had to ask you. Did you have the Life cereal commercial they mentioned in the classroom? The Mikey likes it. You didn't have that either?
No.
So it's a little boy. So I'll tell you the commercial real quick. It's a little boy, and he just doesn't. He's just so finicky with everything he eats, and finally, he won't eat anything. Give it to Mikey, he'll eat anything. I don't know if he would eat anything or he wouldn't. Anyway, whatever. So he's like, I think he's finicky, and so he finally eats it, and he just starts eating a lot of it. Like, oh, he likes it. Hey, Mikey, and that's how it is. And there was this whole urban legend that the whole thing you saw in the movie, but it's a real commercial.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
Wow, I like that. So they actually based that on the real commercial.
Yeah.
That's so clever. This film is clever.
I looked up a lot when this movie came out. That's when Snopes.com really got big because a lot of people. Did I cut off? Sorry. Snopes.com got really big because that had a lot of urban legends. That's where you went to look up a bunch of urban legends and whether it was proven, like there actual are reported cases of things. And now Snopes has come to be like the truth-seeking website. So if you find out something, especially memes or something like that, like political stuff, you can go to Snopes.com and see if they've done the research to see if it's actually real and whether it's the truth or if it's just a fake meme going around. So they do that now. So that's kind of like the memes are like the modern day urban legends now. So,
yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. I love that. So what did you think of Brenda's choice of outfit to be like the killer, the parka coat with the hood? What did you think, Josh? Did you think that was a good choice?
Brilliant. Practical, it's raining a lot, wear your parka, perfect. Creepy, like it is creepy. And I love how many people own one. So many characters just happen to have a parka. Even the professor who wears like
the same
corduroy and the exact same coat. As like a killer costume, I think it's great.
Yeah. What about you, Dustin? Did you think that it was a good choice of costume?
I remember initially when I saw it at first, I was like, how can we not see her face? And now that I know she's wearing a ski mask, because you saw that in the car, because I saw it a little better now. But at the same time, I was like, and there was other parts that bothered me. They had a lot of red herrings with the coat, like he was saying, it was hanging up or, and then the one by the pool. Why was the girl wearing her hood up, walking around the pool indoors with the coat on? I don't understand. But
she borrowed it off Brenda.
Other than that, yeah.
She must have borrowed it.
I know. It's like Brenda's like walking here wearing this coat like this. Like, don't say why.
Oh, how about you, Emma? Did it scare you? I had nightmares. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I quite liked it because if you've ever been walking on your own late at night and somebody's walking with a big coat and their hood up, it is a bit frightful if they're behind you because you can't see who they are. And then you can only hear their footsteps, and then you start walking a bit faster, and then they start walking a bit faster. You think, oh my God, or that's just me. I don't know, but yeah. So I thought it was a bit scary actually. Yeah, I thought it worked.
Yeah. And do you know what? Where were all the other students on the campus when the ending was happening? Like the campus was deserted. Oh, they were all at the party, maybe. Still.
Yeah, they were still preoccupied at the party.
Yeah.
Even though there was dog guts in the microwave.
Oh.
This seems like a private university. Like it doesn't seem like a public university. It's because I went to a private university. It was it had these old buildings like this that were over 100, 150 years old, and it was a smaller campus, so a lot of people could be at one party. Or most people could be. So I think that's where it was taking place. So it's probably what was going on.
Yeah. I was like, where is everyone? There's no one around. So have we got a favourite scene or a favourite death scene even in Urban Legends? Have you got a favourite scene, Emma?
Yes. I really liked I liked the car with the rope tied around it, and then he was sort of going, don't move, sort of thing, don't drive away, because as soon as she drives away, effectively she killed her mate, and I thought that was really devastating. I thought that was really harsh actually. So yeah, not only did she run somebody off the road earlier on in her life, but she's now killed one of her friends with a car also. So it's like I thought that was my favourite one, I think. Yeah.
How about you, Josh? Favourite scene or favourite death scene?
Oh, it's the Tara Reid chase in the radio station. Brilliant. Yeah, so
Yeah.
good. So atmospheric. Love the music. Christopher Young's music is like unbelievable. Like this, it makes it feel like so much more than sort of like just a teen horror film. It's really like
Yeah.
really atmospheric, really classy, really sort of just like a a punch above the rest, I think. So that scene
Yeah.
is such a great showcase of the music, I think, as well.
Yeah. And I think I watched this with my son, and he was like, "Why did she go in the elevator and go up? Why didn't she just like run out the door?" And I was like,
She
Because
couldn't
this
run
is
in
a
those
horror
shoes.
movie. You
Yeah,
have to go up.
yeah.
"Oh dear." How about you, Dustin? Favorite scene or favorite death
Um,
scene?
it's a tie actually between the reveal of Brenda being the killer and just her just going completely insane, and
Yeah.
the other one would be when the roommate is killed after so many times she keeps walking in and has to keep the light off and she puts on the headphones, and that would probably be my favorite death scene as far as like how horribly tragic it is. But also I'm kind of glad the roommate gets killed because she was I didn't like her, so
She was
like
nice.
Rude.
kill her already. God, get her out of here. Get her a single room. My goodness.
And I noticed this on this watch. I noticed that when Natalie pulls back the covers and you get those flashes of light, and it's clearly like a stylistic choice, but also it's kind of like the high beam flashing as well,
Ooh, yeah.
which is super cool.
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
noticed that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that could be wait, she's taking it in, like remembering at the same time. Yeah, like a
Yeah,
mix. That's good. Yeah. Good
Mm,
on you.
yeah.
yeah.
You noticed that really well. I didn't notice
Obviously.
that.
Well, it's the same sound, I think. It's the same sound as the high beam sound. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm
yeah,
gonna
it's
have to
cool.
rewatch now.
Every month.
Every
Every month.
I'm getting in on that, aren't you?
And this month's Urban
I
Legend
might
check.
actually.
Yeah.
Stephen's put there was obviously a big sale on that Parker during that time. Everyone
I
wanted
bet there
it.
was. I bet in reality there probably was too.
Maybe it was like Pendleton uniform.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have a football team, they just wear Parkers.
Go Parker. But yeah, Amy's put the opening scene. I still can't drive without checking the back seat. But apparently now we need to check under the car as well.
Oh yeah, just kind of glance. Is anybody under there? Okay.
I never knew that.
It'll take you so much longer to drive anywhere.
It takes me forever.
Gotta check
anyway.
the trunk in case there's a professor stuck in the trunk.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, with the smelly.
I think you can wait on that because if somebody's dead back there, it's not your fault. But if they're just trapped back there, they'll knock.
Drive around with that in your car, it's fine.
No responsibility.
Obviously, my favourite scene was anything with Jared Leto, anything with Joshua Jackson, anything with Robert England, and anything with Michael Rosenbaum. Only a few scenes.
A sconch of the movie.
Yeah. Can't see why.
So just to wrap up then, do you have a favourite urban legend? Dustin, do you have a favourite urban legend?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you guys. I was going to say, were any of these urban legends big over there?
Yeah,
yeah.
I would say so. Like, obviously the babysitter is quite
Phoning
well
inside the house, yeah.
Yeah, the only one I hadn't heard of was the dog in the microwave. I'd never heard that. The only dog kind of urban legend I'd heard was the licked hand, is it called?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the one that came straight to mind. Yeah, the psycho's licking your hand.
That's in the Campfire Tales movie, by the way.
Oh, I need
And I
to
think that's in the
Yeah.
sequel. I think it's like a set piece in the movie within the movie in the second urban legend film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've
They got around
never
to it.
seen the sequel.
Good. I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
So have
Very
you got any favourite urban legends, Dustin?
Well, I wouldn't say favorite, but the one I probably pay attention to the most is the high beams and don't flash your lights at other cars going by. And I will do it more often if there's a bunch of us on the road, and I see somebody with their lights out and it's like either rainy or if it's, dark out, I'm like, come on, get your lights on. I mean, people need to be able to see you. But because if there's a lot of people on the road, they're not going to follow me. But if it's like my car passing another lone car, I'm not doing it. Like, you go ahead, be hit by somebody because they didn't see you. I don't care.
I'd never actually heard of that before.
Really?
I don't think. Yeah, I'm always
No.
flashing people like they're
Yeah.
flashing
Oh,
my lights at people.
Turn your lights on.
One way to get their attention.
So, yeah, I'm always flashing my lights at people, telling them to put their lights on. But now I'm going to think twice.
I do as well. I do the same.
They would drive the other way if I actually flashed it. Anyway, so, what's your favourite urban legend, Josh?
Probably the one about the escaped. It's the one from I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's the one about the escaped mental patient who you find the hook hanging from the car door. That story.
Yeah,
I like that one. Even though it doesn't paint a very healthy depiction of mental illness, it's kind of beside the point.
Yeah.
Good story.
How about you, Emma? Favourite urban legend?
I like things with phone calls. That might be because I like Scream so much. I don't know. So I like the phone call one, the fact that there's somebody phoning from inside your house. That's just frightful. They're inside your house. So I think that's probably my one.
Yeah. I think
that one always confused me when I was younger. Before mobile phones, I was like, how are they calling from inside the house? I never really understood.
Yeah, you didn't realize second line.
Yeah, second line. We had a second line as well.
Yeah, we did. I think that was the one that I grew up with the most, was the babysitter legend. It's the one, and the licked hand. Those were the two that we'd tell, like, if we had sleepovers and things like that. I
think because we did babysitting to get money as kids, didn't we? Did you do it? I babysat, so I think that one just stuck in there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Ooh. Still gives me the creeps now. Just like,
there was another one that was kind of a variation on that story in a way. I know it was a movie a couple of times. It was a regular movie and there was a TV movie in the 90s. But it was called I Know What You Did. I Saw What You Did and I Know Who You Are. Where these babysitters make a prank phone call to people and they randomly pick numbers and they actually call somebody who just killed someone. And so other ones were like, oh, well, I hope you enjoyed it. Like they were doing something sexy. But then they call it an actual killer. And he says, I saw what you did and I know who you are. And they're just laughing about it. But then the killer comes after them because of it.
That sounds great.
Oh yeah, that's frightful.
Yeah. It's giving me the creep. But it came up something about a reboot, but they could just be saying that because they reboot everything nowadays.
They do.
Yeah, but I'm not
such
sure
a great concept, though. It'd be almost like a shame if they didn't reboot it because it's such a great idea.
And I wonder if they would come up with new urban legends too.
Yeah, because you could do so much.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with like modern technology as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Really
no, I wouldn't sleep.
The phone from inside the house thing would not work nowadays.
No.
Unless they did a GPS location, you know.
It'd be like the post is coming from your own Instagram account or something. Like
Ghost in the Instagram account.
Hang on. Leroy's put, I think they are, but it's going to be a creepy
pasta.
Creepy pasta.
Okay.
Yummy.
Oh, like, not as in pasta, as in edible pasta.
A smorgasbord of creepy, basically.
Do you mean like a religious pasta? I'm so confused. Like,
like stories. Like those, you read those creepy pasta stories?
Is it going to be fusilli? Fusilli is quite scary.
I was thinking it might be macaroni. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
He says Reddit, basically. Internet, urban legends and stories. But he said Reddit, and I was like, you mean Am I the Asshole stories? Like,
Ask me anything? What?
Oh,
What?
dear. Yeah, Marissa's put modern urban legend. So I was trying to think, is an urban legend with pasta, like as in actual pasta? Anyway, we will finish the chat on that note. Now I've been embarrassed myself for about the 10th billion time. That really confused me, Leroy. I'm so sorry. Thanks, guys. Thanks for like chatting away, and thanks for all your comments that everyone's put up as well. We'll do another chat next month. Thanks for Dustin for like being our special guest.
Yay! Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Dustin.
Hi, Emma. Hi, Josh.
I will leave you with a creepy. That's what I was going to do. A creepy little wave. Thanks, guys.